So Tyler and I moved to Philadelphia, and we are actually only going to be here for 2 months. So I don't even know if you can call that a move. It's a temporary stay. The reason we moved back to the Northeast is because Tyler's actually finishing her graduate degree. So she's going to Rutgers and she's getting a degree, doctorate in French literature. We got an Airbnb out here, and we are here for 2 months, and we are in this super cute neighborhood called Fairmount Park. And Fairmount Park is located in the northwest of Philly, and it's such a wonderful location because we're only about like 15 minutes from central Philly. The only thing is that we're sharing one car. So when Tyler is at school, I'm kind of just at the house with the dogs. You want to be in the video? Come here. 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 Yeah, at the house with these guys. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say? He just licked the mic. And so a lot of the photography that I've actually done has actually just been in this neighborhood. I've been trying to look at it as this opportunity to challenge myself. You know, work within this 1 block radius, which is our little street, our little neighborhood, and try to create as many photos as possible. There's several spots that I keep going back to just because I enjoy them so much. I've actually really enjoyed, returning to these spots that, I didn't necessarily want to take a picture of before that are now interesting. We've sort of gone through the first month of fall into October. Some spots change over time, especially with, fall colors. Like there's this one spot over by a gorgeous, gorgeous yellow house. And this was when the hedge was starting to turn bright red, It's gorgeous, and the house itself is honestly one of the most beautiful homes in the neighborhood. So for me, this is a pretty beautiful shot, turning point. One photographer that I'm absolutely obsessed with is Elliot Porter. His ability to spot composition, texture, color. So a lot of the times when I'm out, I'm constantly striving to look for texture, look for color, look for all of these things that, kind of draw me to his photographs. And there's all these trees all around the neighborhood that have these really interesting patterns of bark. I have about 50 photos of trees at this point. There's also this golf course that is right off our street, and so it's actually really nice to walk over there with the dogs. There was actually one night that I went out there and I tried my hand at creating HDR photos. So taking one picture where I exposed for the sky and then taking one picture where I exposed for the tree. But if you keep walking past those holes, if you keep walking straight, there's almost like this castle. And, it's a beautiful building. And you can see the tower from all over the neighborhood. So I'll be walking the dogs along our street and I can peek through the trees and see the tower, and it's really such a beautiful building. One of the reasons I love photography is because it feels like an excuse to get out and explore, sometimes I go for a walk, and if I don't have my camera, it feels wrong. For me, it feels like, an excuse to just spend time with myself. And for some reason, when I don't have my camera, I'm not able to just go for a 40, 50 minute walk. I have to have my camera. This was from an early morning with Tolstoy. A lot of these pictures, I'm just walking my dog because, I'm out walking. Why not just take my dog? and it had just rained in the morning, you know, so it smelled super fresh. Everything smelled delicious, and I just liked this frame with this sidewalk starting, the fire hydrant, the two trees framing those two houses. I've taken several pictures of these houses. I just like them. The house that's in the center of the photograph is actually our neighbor's house, and that brick house on the left is actually our home. You see that top window up there? That's our attic. We actually live in the attic. It's a flipped attic, so this is where we're living. When I walk the dogs fully around the block, there's this person's garden. It's kind of one of those gardens that, you know, they just let run wild, and honestly, it's my favorite kind of garden. Like, I prefer like a wildly overrun garden to one that is just immaculately taken care of. So I took this picture looking down on our street from our front window, and I took this picture just like the light was so ridiculously soft and the colors were so strong. There's not too wild a composition, but for me, this photo is more about the colors and the light, and this might be one of my favorites from our stay. There was one night I was just out walking Tolstoy, and we were walking around the block, and we walked around a couple of the holes of the golf course, and on the way back, you know, the sun was setting. The sky was cloudy, and it was just really moody. Like, there was this feeling, this strong feeling in the air for me. And so I took this picture of just these wires and this telephone pole, and I just love this shot. Nothing really fancy. Like, you know, I think you can love pictures that you take, and they don't have to be wild pictures, but they mean something to you, you know? I've taken several pictures of that tree over the past month, and for some reason I can't seem to capture it. Like, what I'm seeing in front of me never really translates to the photo. Like, I haven't been able to really communicate what I'm seeing. I think that happens a lot of the time. I feel like a good photograph is a photograph that, you know, communicates something. It's definitely been fun. It's definitely been interesting to try and explore and re-explore the same area. And in a way, I feel like just sitting in this one area for 2 months and just taking pictures within the same block, I'm really making the best pictures possible in this neighborhood. I'm not just going through once and taking pictures of exactly what I see in front of me. You know, I'm sitting with this space a little bit. I'm learning, you know, what light comes in at different times, and kind of finding new angles and new ways to see things. So, you know, I think it's been a fun little experiment. It's definitely been nice to just go out and take pictures with the dogs. And yeah, I can't wait to share more from all kinds of different explorations around the city. Can't wait to take you guys to Boathouse Row, because it's seriously one of my favorite spots in town. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, and I guess I'll just see you in the next one.